Hey guys, what is going on? It is Ando. Thank you guys again so much for coming out to another video. Today is going to be sort of a fun video. It's not really meant to be super informational. I know a lot of my stuff is supposed to be kind of like testing, informational, at least especially these first few videos. So what we're going to be doing today is talking about Dark Side GEO TB. And basically what I'm trying to do is, and I talked about this in the Discord, is I'm going to try to get as many waves as possible. Before, due to time constraints or whatever, I was like, I maybe sometimes I wouldn't attack all in phase one, or I wouldn't get a ships battle. So I've made a conscious effort now to kind of be the first in there, make sure that I'm able to max out all the waves and all that good stuff. So as we progress, I'll break it down each day by each phase. So it's just kind of meant to be a fun video and to see where my current roster stands. But in each of the battles, I'll also give out some kind of tips that I see with the faction and how you kind of play certain characters and or play certain enemies on the other team. And so hopefully there is a little bit more information to be had. Also, to help everyone out that needs the help, join the Discord, and we'll be able to talk, strategies. You can send us a screenshot of your roster, see what works best, or how you can maybe maximize some of the combat waves in some of the areas, or maybe you just want to ask, hey, is it possible for me to do the special mission in this phase, or whatever the case is, or just come out and just, speculate with us and have a good time. I hope that you guys are at least enjoying the videos, and again, it's meant to be a little bit more of a fun, like just watching some of those waves go down, and some of these characters, see where their kind of limiting factor is, and how far they can push in TB, and where their current relic levels are and all that good stuff. Anyways, enough talking. Let's just go ahead and get into this video. Alright guys, so first up we have this separatist, or the Geonosian mission, where you have to put Poggle as lead. So also all this footage is speed up, so that way it's not like a 20-minute long video. So you'll see basically what I want to talk about here is the importance of, especially with Geonosians, the importance of like how you can position them in a squad. Now you can't position these ones specifically, but it's really, really important to know that the ability block on Poggle is on his basic, and it's also really important to know that Geonosian Soldier gives tenacity down, and a lot of these characters have very, very high tenacity, and so by getting tenacity down, you're able to kind of go around and ability block people. So you'll notice that I kind of target people that have especially AoEs. Those guys are very, very important. If you can't just kill them off outright, at least get the ability block on them, because Geonosians, like, they're good in a lot of things, but as soon as you start adding big AoE damage, so specifically like the Clone Trooper or Clone Sergeant, a few of the Jedi also have some big AoEs, that Arc Trooper. So it's very, very important to try to get as many ability blocks as possible, and you'll kind of see it in this fourth phase. I'm not necessarily just going for the straight kills. I'm starting to kind of just walk around the different clones, right? And you can see now I'm trying to ability block them, right? And I'm making sure that the medic gets ability block, because I don't want them to really revive in this point. Earlier on, you might have noticed also too, I was trying to get some kills with Poggle to try to increase the damage. If Poggle gets the finishing blow on someone, he ends up giving the 5% offense to all separatists, and it stacks, right? So if you guys have an awesome Poggle, you guys could probably do it better than me, but unfortunately I failed at it very epically. So again, just kind of going through, making sure everyone's ability block. It's really about the control with those Geonosians. Alright, so the next match that I have is, I pretty much took like all the like outcasts first order, and I put them with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and it's very easy. As you can tell, it's not going to be a problem. And the good thing about these guys too is they all have, like, well, most of them have a AoE, which is very high crit chance. So you'll notice that, like, as soon as I get my first ultimate, which I just did, you'll see that I'm just kind of like spamming ultimate, and I pretty much remain at 100%. But yeah, there's nothing really to to go here. If you don't have an SLKR, you can use Mother Talzin. She has very high success rate, especially in early tiers. Bounty hunters, especially boss led, do well as well. So in this one, I have Emperor Palpatine lead, and this one's actually really funny. As I was playing through this, I don't even think they actually take a turn other than maybe some counterattacks. So one thing to notice here with Vader is I did that wrong right there. You saw I put the Force Crush not on Jolie Fish Dough, right? So it's actually pretty important that happens just because he does counter. So it's just kind of something to keep in mind. And obviously the Force Crush can't be countered. So that's something for you to keep in mind, especially when you're in the middle of your merciless targets here. You know, just remembering guys that, you know, basically can counter you. Again, this is very, very easy. The big concept here is that, yeah, you're inflicting a ton of debuffs, but also guys that maybe don't inflict so many debuffs like Malik, and even to a lesser extent, I guess, Nihilus. For every debuff that is expired, they're also gaining 5% turn meter. So, and then I have a choice here. I could either annihilate, but then I decide, hey, you know what? We're almost into phase 4. Might as well just save it. So it's also a little bit, especially as we go on into the later phases, it's also going to be a little bit of play of like, hey, when do you use what ability? But yeah, you could see like this is just, we're just boosting everyone's turn meter by, you know, having all these debuffs expire. And again, you'll see that it pays off that we kept our annihilate. So started off the turn, boom, take out Mace Windu. I love it when that happens. I love it when you save the annihilate. And it just works out perfectly like that. And then yeah, nothing really big here. Again, you're just trying to land a bunch of debuffs and get this. Now I will say I got lucky this run because I did not get any Shock T, like clone Shock Ts, or like at least the heroic one. And so I got a little bit lucky there. And so this team I think can still take it, especially at a relic, especially with Malik, but it's definitely a lot hairier. So now I'm going in with like a more standard first order. And so kind of the strategy behind this is, I think I figured this out a little bit too late, and it just kind of comes with the territory of having so many kits to kind of like memorize. You saw what I just did there with Sith Trooper's ability. Not only is it a cleanse, but it adds advantage. And if you're able to add advantage to everyone, that's gonna play to your benefit here, because that middle ability that I just used with Kylo Ren's, you know, his mid, because they're both all of them are first order, and if they have advantage, they're gonna gain 50% turn meter. Where it's if they're only just, you know, if they don't have advantage, they're only gonna gain 25%. So I think trying to maybe use Hux in this scenario where maybe, you know, you want to get people more turn meter faster. I used to always try to give it over to KRU because it's so great having that 2-turn stun. So the more turns he's taking, obviously the more that cooldown happens. But I don't know. It might be one of those things where we need to look into calling in Sith Trooper more often, so that way you can pass advantage off. And also another thing to note with Kylo Ren, never be afraid to use his basic because it adds his tenacity down, right? Tenacity down is going to have you be able to not only stun with Kylo Ren for 2 turns, or Kylo Ren unmasked, but you'll be able to stun with Kylo Ren. So now, you know, you're already kind of limiting the amount of people taking turns or attacking you. So it's going to be a really good thing. And then tenacity down with Fox, his special ability, he's able to remove turn meter. So again, a guy might be stunned, might be getting close to his turn, or, you know, coming around, and you can go and hit him with Fox's special and remove some more turn meter. So right here you can see I'm kind of deciding whether or not to use my stun. I want to use it on Mace Windu. That 2-turn stun, again, is so big. And you'll see here, I think on Mace Windu, I think it's Mace Windu, you'll see that we start to just kind of, he gets tenacity down, we start knocking back turn meter here with Fox as well. So yeah, boom, right there. You see, like, we knocked back about 50% turn meter there. I think it's a little bit less, but it looked like it was pretty close to it. So yeah, easy 4 for 4 there. And I've noticed that team does pretty well up until about phase 3. And then I think you're really going to start being limited. If you've got a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, or if you got the relics that are required, I think around phase 3 is kind of the limiting life factor on that team. They just become so tanky, and there's just not enough damage in there. At least that's from what I've experienced. All right, so here's the special mission. I use Wat Tambor in here. I used to use Dooku though. Dooku works great. The only spot that can kind of get a little bit hairy with Wat is if they've got Shock T, which I think we actually face this time around. But you just have to remember that, yeah, you got to revive with Wat Tambor. And so I placed the weapons tech on BB8, B1, and that's because 1, he's pretty much my biggest damage dealer, and 2, I want him going like all the time. I want him to just build up those stacks. As you can see, he's already at like 150-ish, 140, yeah, 148. So this is where you probably need to be a little bit more careful and a little bit more, I guess, choosy on, if that's a word, on where you're using, the mass spams with B1, because you're going to give everyone counterattack, right? And that can be kind of a pain to deal with. So, but at the same time, you also want to heal people back up. And so the tank tech is over there on B2. And then the regular health pack is on Nute. I find that if Nute dies in this team, and obviously if Wat Tambor is not around to res him, this team really goes south quick. Whereas like if you bring in Count Dooku, it's actually not too bad. Like, it's still doable. I have definitely lost Nute before and beaten it with Count Dooku. But as you can see here, it looks like we're gonna walk out of here with no revives needed, and we'll be able to go on to the next round. It's always fun to just watch Wat Tambor just do nothing, but yet do so much. He's just sitting there assisting and doing so many, like, all the bonus attacks and stuff, but he just, overall, he's not really adding anything. What's great about this too is that Wat Tambor can dispel, negative status effects, and Shatterpoint is a negative status effect. So it helps keep, a guy like B2 around, because that Shatterpoint can really do damage on you if you get hit again by Mace Windu, at least. So yeah, we got all the waves. So we were 100% successful, and we got all the waves, and yeah, that's it. Alright guys, well, thank you again for watching, and I appreciate it. Again, would appreciate if you guys just want to hit up the comment section and just talk about any Dark Side territory battles. Again, hit up the Discord as well. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it was just kind of like one of those fun things where you're watching, some characters do some pretty fun stuff in phase 1. We'll just keep coming out with these, and I think eventually what we'll do is we'll kind of make these to where we'll make these to where the phase that we kind of get stuck on, which right now I'm anticipating it's phase 4, we will just kind of make a video from that point on, just kind of making a progress and seeing how we do in each month, basically. Thank you guys again for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.